Hi everybody, and welcome to a very special Adventures in Vintage Audio. Not just because I'm wearing a skirt today, yes I have legs, but because we're going to finally be featuring the beautiful Pioneer SX-1000TD that you guys were with me on about 3 hangouts for a repair and restoration. And just by way of a little background here, the Pioneer SX-1000TD really was one of those stereophonic units that marked the transition from vacuum tube technology, the little tubes that glow orange, you've seen a lot of my videos, to solid state using big output transformers and things. And you know, up until through the mid-1960s, even up into the later 1960s, companies weren't really sure, you know, about the transition to full solid state. And there was some slight rebellion by some audio people. At first, when solid state came out, everybody wanted solid state because they felt like they were getting something new and improved. And they felt kind of like they were getting ripped off if they continued to buy tube equipment. And then, of course, once transistors became commonplace and solid state was everywhere, people started yearning for the vacuum tube technology. And, of course, by that time, it was really, things had moved on. And, well, it wasn't until really the 2010 that people really started getting interested in the old tube amplifiers and tube receivers, especially the stereophonic ones. But nonetheless, this is still an incredible unit because it does encompass that early technology of solid state, big beefy output transistors. It's got a huge heat sink on it. It generates a lot of heat. Here, you can almost use it for a cook stove on an apartment, I think, sometimes. But it just is well, it's an incredible unit, and it's built like a tank. Now, one of the things that marks these SX-1000TDs is also that these were commonly available in on PXs on bases overseas in Japan and Korea and places like that at heavily discounted prices. Not only did it help the Japanese and our allies, the Koreans, make a few dollars with their building electronics businesses, of course, which came to dominate the world, but it also gave servicemen a chance to, well, get a very reduced price on a great unit. And you wonder, well, what about shipping it back? I mean, you couldn't carry something like this in your Army gear coming home. Well, the government paid to have them shipped home, and thousands and thousands and thousands of units were sold overseas, of which the Pioneer SX-1000 was one of the TD was one of the flagship ones that got sold. It was manufactured from 1969 to 1971. A cool 50 watts per channel. It wasn't going to blow the doors down, but what's incredible about this is 1/2 of 1% total harmonic distortion. That means on average listening volume, 99.5% of the sound is going to come through without distortion. Well, that's a great thing in listening, and well, it set a hallmark standard for that. To this day, these units are still fairly common, but they're difficult to find in good condition, and they're even more difficult to find without, you know, with one of the really nice cases on it. This one isn't perfect, but I think it really offsets the beauty of this. This is equipped to drive 2 sets of speakers too, so you could actually have speakers set up, say, in a den, and then you could have it, well, out in a workshop too if you wanted to drive an extra pair, or a club room or a basement. You could hook up a second pair of speakers and it would drive that pair. It could drive it independently, the second pair, or it could light up your whole house with great sound. So it was an unusual like that because too many times people were hooking up multiple speakers all over the house to one set of terminals, and they were destroying their units with the impedance mismatch. I'm not going to get into a lot of technical things, but let's just say your speakers that you put on to listen to your audio gear are an integral part of the circuit, the final circuit. And if you start messing around with how much impedance that circuit has, you could do damage to your the output section of your stereo amplifier. It has a high pass and a low pass filter. Well, come on down to the front of it, and I'll give you a look at it, and we'll get spinning up and down the dial, and we'll do a little listening today. And I've picked out a very beautiful song that's very meaningful to me, and not in a way that you might think. So come on down, let's take a close-up look. This will give you a good up-close view here. And let me grab something to point with here. And some of the features here, we have the, as I said, this is the power switch here. And it will drive two sets of speakers. The main speakers, you can have the external speakers. You can also have the main speakers plus the external going there. In addition, you have your headphones. It also has the bass and treble and a balance and the volume here. The loudness, which gives a nice boost of your volume potential. Your low filter, which will cut out a lot of the bass if you want that. And the high pass filter too will cut off some of your high frequencies if you're a little less into treble. It also has the automatic frequency control, which helps you get makes the channels, let's say, wider, so it's easier to tune them in, and you don't get all that harsh static between stations there. So it has that automatic frequency control that locks things in. It also makes sure that the signal doesn't drift here. You know, in the old days, you tune it in, and then you would perceive that it was drifting off the station. You'd have to come back to the tuning knob and tune it again. Well, the AFC solves a lot of that issue. It doesn't allow quite the throughput as if it was set on one very precisely on a frequency, but it keeps it locked in so it's not going to drift when you're listening. It has the AM, the FM mono, the phono. It can also drive two tape decks here. They were very popular in the 1970s. And it can also drive the auxiliary, which we'll be using for the MP3 player for a little bit of listening today. And it can also drive two phono. If you wanted to have two record players, you could drive that too. And then your various stereo modes, left, right, and tape monitor. You could listen in. You could also record mode. This was an amazing unit. Now it has the unit indicator light, the red light here that shows power on. It also has, as I'm silently tuning, you can see how it is picking up stereo here as we tool along, picking up signals. So let's go ahead and turn up the volume a little bit here, and let's do a little listening. We'll start by going up the AM band. I don't have really an AM antenna. It has the built-in antenna. It hangs off of the back of it. So we'll just tune up a little bit. And it's a very sensitive receiver for picking up stations. It's our religious programming.
Combinations work better than others. This weekend, fall in love with Captain and Cola. Drink responsibly. Captain's orders.
Sports programming out of San Francisco. This should be KCBS, all news all the time coming up.
Linear audio, launched with a single touch. Zoom, simply the easiest to use conference room solution.
It's just a really clean audio. That's the thing that amazes me. There's no snap, crackle, pop at all.
Sand shifting beneath your feet. Welcome to the
with Dr. Craig.
This is 810 KGO out of San Francisco.
Center of Silicon Valley at 877 get 2020.
You can also see the tuning meter here, which helps you You know, the further over, the more powerful the signal, the more
In
to the
business,
right.
time is money. In business, money is also money. No wonder nearly 1,000.
Download the NBC Bay Area app. Select Watch Live TV now. Follow the prompts.
Talk radio.
Authenticate once, and you're good to go.
San Francisco.
Watch Live TV now. Download the NBC Bay.
Days at such a key juncture for Japanese assets. Stocks in New Zealand.
Bloomberg News out of San Francisco.
And futures on Australian and Korean.
The Hex-Men Winter War con 9.4 millones. La veo
And it to me, then I like lose it like about a month later. I'm like,
KNBR, our giant station, giant spaceball.
I take it here, and then they...
Because they never stop to try to, or not to, or desire to.
We'll come up to 1350 KSRO, our local Santa Rosa powerhouse.
Gratuities and onboard water sports marina for complimentary kayaking, windsurfing, and paddleboarding. For more info, go to KISS.
Bien hecho, chaparrita, por eso te admiro.
We have
Vamos
our
a repetir
local
el número de mi
Mexican
amiga
station.
guapísima. ¿Cuál es?
So let's roll down the FM dial. Let's go down to the end here. Let's see what we can pick up. I don't have a really great antenna today, but you can see the stereo indicator light going on and on. That's classical music out of San Francisco. And I have the AFC on, so.
Your job is what you do. Music is who you are.
Hi, my name is Wyatt.
Hi, my name is Jamie. Hi, my name is Katie, and I'm country. And I'm country.
And I am country.
Station.
Froggy 92.9.
Sounds pretty nice, yeah.
She left without leaving a note.
Yeah, they always do.
Medication or placebo at no cost. And you may be compensated for time and travel. You must be at least 18 years old to participate and have...
Gift certificates from the European Wax Center. A $100 gift card from
But
Montgomery
isn't this
Village
handsome,
in every
the finish
purse.
on
And
it
we
and
are
everything?
pleased to pronounce
So
that no
clean.
purchase is required.
Cleaned up really beautifully. You guys were with me, and a real part of getting this going.
And get what you've been missing. I better find your loving. I better. It's better than those. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love right where we are.
Let's see if anything's back off the news here.
RiverRockCasino.com. River Casino, just over 20 minutes north of Santa Rosa.
When you need to know the name of the song and artist that's playing on Jazzy, all you need to do is pull out your phone and text the words "now playing" to 707-528-9393. That's "now playing" to 707-528-9393. The Jazzy texting service is powered by Montgomery Village and Jazzy 93.7 KJZY. Here's Mindy Abear.
Just like how clean it is. All right, let's get to some more listening here, okay? I've enjoyed the music of James Blunt for years. It just seems like we'll all have somebody whose style really connects with our heart and with the way we feel. And there's other things about James Blunt, the British singer, that I really like too. And everybody's going to recognize this tune when it comes on, but they're not going to recognize the great person that James Blunt is in person. And in this month of Memorial Day, when we think about our war dead and people in battle in general and the sacrifices they make, it's nice to have a singer who his big thoughts outside of music have to do with the welfare of British vets, and I think that that is a wonderful thing and closely parallels the way I feel about vets in the United States. Now, James Blunt was a soldier in the British cavalry unit there. He saw action in Kosovo during that in that theater way back when, but he was changed by the experience. And he was also saddened by the way people come out of the service and the way they're often, well, disregarded once their service is over, and they may have a difficult time readjusting to society. So James Blunt's been involved in that, and he's also been involved with Doctors Without Borders, another great group that just wants to bring medical care to people regardless of the situations of how they find themselves, and just get the care to them and worry about the politics later. And I really like that. So enjoy this song from James Blunt. I know that you'll recognize it, but we're going to start here outside in the workshop, and we'll end up on the Wall of Sound. I'll be dimming the lights a little bit here and, well, turning up the volume inside. And you can really enjoy one of my favorite songs of all time. Make sure you have your stereo earbuds in or your headphones, okay? Here we go.
My life is brilliant. My life is brilliant. My love is pure. I saw an angel, of that I'm sure. She smiled at me on the subway. She was with another man. But I won't lose no sleep on that, 'cause I've got a plan. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. I saw your face in a crowded place, and I don't know what to do, 'cause I'll never be with you. Yes, she caught my eye as we walked on by. She could see from my face that I was flying high, and I don't think that I'll see her again, but we shared a moment that will last till the end. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. I saw your face in a crowded place, and I don't know what to do, 'cause I'll never be with you. La 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 la, la la la, la la la. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. There must be an angel with a smile on her face when she thought that I should be with you. But it's time to face the truth. I will never be with you.
James Blunt on the Wall of Sound, the Pioneer SX-1000TD. Thanks, everyone.